Hello, everyone. Welcome to Geekonomics. We are back after the holiday weekend. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July weekend. Hope everyone got amped and was able to meet with family and friends. Today is a big day here on the podcast.
Why?
Today, Brian,
Oh, God.
is the 40th birthday of our own John Francia.
Yes. Yes, he's 40 years old.
Today.
He joins the 40-year-old men club.
Yes. So now he can hang out with us again. Because before this, he wasn't 40, so we didn't want to hang out with him because he just want to talk about all those things those young whippersnappers talk about. But now that he's 40, he's going to be talking about lawn care and, all the things 40-year-olds talk about. I have no idea.
My back hurts when I sit down.
Yeah, exactly. He used to make all the noises now and all the fun things. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Talk about where did my hair go?
Happy birthday, Jonathan Francois.
Yes. Francois turns 40 today.
And we're going to go...
Thursday, we're having a birthday party for Francois. I'm assuming it's a birthday party because he's organizing this. I'm assuming there's going to be cake and ice cream at this event. If not, I'm going to be very annoyed.
I don't think...
Listen to that, Francois. Get the cake, get the ice cream. We're going to see.
I don't think they could serve cake and ice cream at the movie theater.
They can serve it outside the movie theater. They must have a room you can rent or something.
You're going to rent a room for cake and ice cream?
Why not? Would you not rent a room for cake and ice cream?
No, I have a house. I'm not renting it.
Well, for going somewhere, I'm saying.
You should be in charge of that.
Nah, it's fine. It's not my birthday. His wife should be in charge of that. That's how it works.
Anyway, but we are, for John's all seriousness, we are this is the first outing we've had as a group.
Yes.
We did go axe throwing last July for John's birthday.
Yes.
But that was in the middle of the pandemic and we all had to wear masks.
Yeah, which I did not participate in because it was still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're all vaccinated now.
Yes.
The last time we all saw a movie together was Rise of the Skywalker.
Yes.
Just crazy to think.
Yeah. That was 2019.
Yeah, the Christmas.
It's been over an actual year.
Oh, yeah.
Since we've all been in a group together in one place to watch a film.
Yeah. And I know John misses this. I mean, I miss it too.
I think we all do. Yeah, it's not just God. I think we all do.
I mean, it would be kind of cool to hang out afterwards if we go to Denny's or something. I don't know.
Cake and ice cream.
And get cake and ice cream.
Yeah.
At
least pie and ice cream.
Denny's, I don't know. I know the one at Enfield is open, but at least they're spacious.
Yeah.
Open area.
Yeah.
And they have big tables. Whereas if you went to another place, you're all crammed in.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Here in Springfield, it's still not open.
Oh, it still hasn't opened.
One on Boston Road, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
See, the Enfield one looks like it's closed, but it's really open.
Yeah.
I
know there's a staffing issue, I think, at this one.
Could be. There could be. I mean, a lot of folks maybe aren't comfortable going back to work, or they're not vaccinated, or they were laid off and they had to they got a job somewhere else. You don't know.
Yeah.
So interestingly enough, we're gonna go see Black Widow, and here next week I'm on vacation, Mark.
Yes.
So I honestly don't know what will be doing, and I don't. We'll try to record on Wednesday with the new Loki episode if I'm home. If I'm home, we'll do it.
Okay.
So we'll figure that out after the podcast.
Yeah, because that'll be Loki finale. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear us talk about that.
Yeah.
But Mark, we got a lot on today's show. We got some news. We're going to talk about the Tomorrow War. We're going to talk about Loki episode 4.
We are.
We always start every episode off talking about what's been going on in our lives briefly.
Yes.
And I know Mark has had
quite a doozy of a weekend.
Yeah.
The Great Mousecapade.
Great Mousecapade. So, Mark, what happened with the Great Mousecapade?
Before that, we went to Claire's parents' house on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. For July 4th weekend. And how many drinks do you have going right now?
Water and coffee, baby.
You are a weird man. Anyways, so we went to East because they live in East Long Meadow. So we went to the East Long Meadow Carnival during the rain.
Oh,
So they can get
wait,
fried
on
dough.
Saturday?
Yes.
It rained all day.
Yeah. We went at night. Claire wanted fried dough. So we went down, got her fried dough.
How was it?
It was small. It was still busy,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of people, way more than I expected when it was the way that the weather was. They
Well,
still shut
people
off
are
the
like,
fireworks. So I'm since working at Stafford, I no longer have any affinity for fireworks at all. So
yeah, I'm over fireworks.
whatever.
I'm over
Yeah,
fireworks. I
they're
don't really
whatever
care.
to me. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. If I had
Once you've seen
kids,
17 different ones in a year for like 20 years, it's kind of lost its
right.
aura.
If I had kids, that would be
Yeah,
different. But
yeah.
I don't care.
You don't have kids, and I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't whatever. So then Sunday we were gonna cook on the grill. Uh, after we came back from visiting my parents' house, and I went to open the grill and saw there was a little nest of stuff in the corner of the grill again, like I'd had like a couple months ago. And then I saw this little movement really quickly, and I was like, "What the deuce is that?" And then I came back and looked. A little field mouse. I decided to make a house in my grill. So yeah. So I called Brian, knowing he is the mouse expert,
And
rodent expert, really, technically. But
well, you called me, and it's funny because Saturday was the only nice. No, Sunday was the only nice day. I actually was outside reading. I fell asleep like an old man. It was heaven, heaven. So I get a phone call from you, but I'm like, all right, Mark doesn't call me unless something's happening.
yeah,
Usually I just get a text.
yeah,
So I'm outside. Allison's in the house near the window, so she could hear me talking to someone. She opens the window, and I'm like, Allison, Mark has a mouse in the grill. And I think our advice did work the second time around because you left the grill top open.
yes. The second time around it worked. First time around, not so much.
It was just basically shake it, show that there's something here. It's not a safe place.
Yeah,
It should go away on its own.
yeah.
But the next day you called me, you're like, it didn't leave.
Yeah. Still here, still sitting here looking at me, like, "Hey, how's it going?"
So did you? So the next day we told you to open the grill. You did.
The next day I took the grill like apart
Top
basically
on.
and left it wide open. So then it was
Yeah.
like, this is not happy. I don't want to be here anymore.
So did you take the nest out? I guess is the question.
Took the nest out, moved it into the woods behind the house.
Was there any babies in there, or was
There was not anything in there.
Okay,
nothing.
that's good.
Yeah.
So
So
it's funny because when I lived on Peggy Lane, I went to go have a fire one night.
yeah, that's what
And
Allison was saying. Yeah.
I went to go have a fire one night, and I saw something run out of the fire pit. Now, the fire pit hadn't been used in a long time. It had tons of sticks that I was saving up. And
Yeah.
I saw something big dart out, but it was kind of dark out, so I didn't know what it was. So as I'm starting this fire, I see babies.
Whoa.
Yeah, babies, about that big. Right?
Yeah.
And little pink guys. I don't know if they were baby mice or baby chipmunks. I don't know. They all look the same. So I'm like putting the fire out.
Yeah.
I gather them.
Yeah.
I go into the house and I'm like, Allison, I'm yelling.
What did I do?
There's babies. I spooked the mom. She took off. I started a fire. I saved. There's 5 of them.
Yeah.
One of them did pass away because, I mean, so that night it poured out.
Yeah.
Ended up raining, and Irene came over. I went to CVS. We got formula, and we fed them. We were up all night. Then we put him back. We put him back in. Once the fire was out and there was no smoke and everything, we put a little tarp thing up and we put him underneath. And the mom came and got him.
Yeah.
So we checked. We checked in the morning and they were all gone. And we checked every hour. We were afraid an animal might come in there and try to eat them or whatever. but we kind of kept an eye on it. We were up
Yeah.
all night, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's what reminded me of
Yeah.
your grill story.
Yeah. So
Uh,
it's like one of my two kryptonites, little furry creatures that move really fast,
yeah,
and snakes. Everything else I can pretty much handle.
but
It's just
I,
little furry creatures that dart quickly.
yes, I
I not
agree with
like
you.
yeah.
But
I
when
have
you
like I think it's because of my amblyopia of my eyes. I have like the lazy eye thing, so my eye like this eye moves around on its own, and I think it's the quick movements. I can't like focus on it, so I like get like I don't know, like an internal like stress alert or something because it's like little things that move quickly in like a quick area, small area. I can't like
well, Mark,
handle
you
it.
just have to remember, like I get freaked out too by mice, but I stop and I say to myself, they're afraid of me.
Oh, I
I
know.
don't.
I just
They're
it's
afraid.
an
They don't
irrational
want to
fear.
be
It's
near
not like
me.
an actual
No,
fear. It's
yeah.
just like an irrational fear.
They're not going to bite you.
Yeah.
They're going
No,
to
I know.
take off. They want to get
Yeah.
away from you. So
Yeah.
ultimately, they're harmless, but it is yeah, it's not
Yeah.
something normal. So it
Yeah.
freaks me out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad it got away. No, it wasn't harmed, and now you can once you start using that grill more, nothing's gonna move in
That's the
there.
thing is because of everything that's been going on, I haven't used the grill that much.
The weather sucks this
Yeah.
summer. It's been
Yeah.
extremely hot,
Yeah.
and
Like
then
today it's back being like oppressive again.
yeah, it's humid or hot, or
Yeah.
it's just raining.
Yeah.
And then the days that are actually really nice are work days.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I'm like, we've had 2 long weekends, Memorial Day weekend and now 4th of July weekend,
July
when
it
the
rained
weather,
mostly the whole time.
yeah, it sucked.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, we got one good day.
Yeah.
I mean, Monday was all right.
Yeah.
But Sunday was the best out of the
Yeah. And
three.
I had a mouse in my grill, so I couldn't even use my grill.
I know. Well, now it's gone. So now
Stupid mouse.
grill away, Mark. Grill away.
Yeah. I will.
Uh,
I'm gonna grill like crazy now. Let's grill every day.
um,
Mouse away. A grill a day keeps the mouse away.
there you go. For me, this week was actually kind of like a getting life back to normal kind of week.
Yeah.
I started Resident Evil 8 Village. Oh my god, it is so good. And it's the perfect kind of Resident Evil game.
Is there a Netflix show about Resident Evil coming or something?
Yes, it's coming out soon this month. I'm super stoked to watch this. I will watch it. I will binge it that weekend.
Yeah.
I will watch. Very excited. But Resident Evil 8, better than 7 so far. Scarier, creepier with the weather. It's perfect. I only play during the day. I can't play at night. I freak out. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. And then me and Allison started watching. We haven't watched the last episode, but it's the Vanish about the Cecil Hotel.
Oh yes, Claire watched that.
Yeah, we haven't watched episode 4 yet. We watched episode 3. Now this deals with this woman who disappeared. She's a young woman, and they found her body in a water tank. And we actually talked about this on the podcast. I brought this up years ago when it happened, like in 2013 when it happened. So for me, I've been intrigued by this story for so long, and now I get to know more about the hotel, more about her, more about what happened. So we're excited to watch the final part this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, Claire she didn't find it as good as other ones she's watched.
I like the history of the hotel.
Yeah, no, she said just as in general, she didn't like the way it was put together. She wasn't as into it as other stuff.
I feel like it could have been 3 episodes, not 4, because I feel like they tread on the same things too many times. Yeah. I don't know if Claire has ever watched American Horror Story.
No.
But for me, the reason I love this is because the history of the hotel. American Horror Story did a whole season based on that hotel. Oh. And so it's kind of cool. They did an episode called Hotel, and it was loosely based off that hotel, because that hotel has such a crazy history.
Yeah.
Murders, serial killers have lived there, drug dealers. I mean, like, and it's like the worst of the worst have been in this hotel in the 70s, the 80s, and then into the early 90s. So I don't know. I find it very fascinating so far. And then I watched. I'm going to bring this movie up because we're going to review the Tomorrow War. But I watched America, the motion picture. I loved it. I
did not get a chance to watch it yet. I was going to watch it today, but maybe today I'll fit it in.
Yeah, highly recommend it. The voice acting is great. There's a lot of big stars in it. Olivia Munn.
Channing Tatum plays
Washington.
Guy.
He plays Washington. Will Forte is Lincoln. It is really good. They basically like take American history and just like smush it up with a whole bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah.
So for me, it was exactly what I wanted. And then other than that, that has been my week, Mark. What am I doing? Other than your mouse?
Other than the mouse, I've been reading Ready Player 2. Still getting through that, about halfway through it now. Liking the difference in the way this one's going than the first one. It's good so far. I don't want to get too deep into it because I don't know if anyone's gonna read it. But yeah, so I'm doing that, and then watched Tomorrow War, like I said, and then Sunday night kept my tradition going of watching Independence Day on Independence Day. And this year, Claire actually watched it with me because it's the 25th anniversary of Independence Day coming out.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Do you remember seeing that in the theater?
Yes, I do.
Me too.
It was an experience.
When you saw in the theater, when what's his face? Why can't I think of his name? He plays a president.
Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman. When he does his speech,
every time
I remember the theater clapped.
Yeah. Cheered.
It cheered.
Yeah. I still, to this day, every time I watch that scene, I get like goosebumps.
Yeah. And
it is one of the best like movie speeches.
This is why the movie experience, in my opinion, is so important. And I think I'm glad the movies are coming back because honestly, watching movies like that or anything these new movies, you watch them and you forget them. But if you saw it with a crowd of people and like you had that moment,
as opposed to just watching it,
right? You'll remember that experience your whole life. And I that's something
I remember the first time I watched Star Wars in the theater. Yeah, it's a whole different thing. It's a group experience as opposed to just an individual experience. That's why. Yeah.
A comedy is even funnier in the theater, I think, because when you watch it at home, you might not have laughed.
Funny, and then it's just not funny.
Yeah. And then a stupid action film is still fun to watch in the theater with a group of people.
Well, it's good that Vin Diesel brought back movie theaters. That's all I gotta say. Thank you, Vin Diesel.
He did with his Fast 9.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm telling you, I haven't seen the Fast 9 movie, but the amount of memes involving Fast 9 that have been out lately are
I think it's jumped the shark because I think it's people, all the reviews about this one have, all the people who really like these movies have all said this one was just a little too much.
Yeah.
It was very cartoonish.
They went to space.
Yeah, and I mean,
in a car.
I think ending it with 10 and doing a two-parter might be the best way to go because if even, I mean, you know 10 is going to make money, 10.2 is going to make money, but I feel like if they go any longer, it could start to stall.
It's way jumped the shark anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I was just watching it Independence Day on Sunday. It kind of holds up 25 years later. But there's still like there's some things, of course, in the movie that you're like, what?
Well, it's a virus. They put it, I mean,
a computer virus takes out the aliens.
Right.
And they fly in a spaceship without any protection. Just ho-hum flying around in a spaceship.
Fun, stupid movie. You don't.
Yeah.
It kind
Don't
of
think about
correlates with the Tomorrow War.
Yeah, don't think about it.
Don't
Just
think
enjoy
about
the
it because
ride.
it will fucking ruin it.
Yeah,
Now, have you
enjoy the
seen
ride.
the new Independence Day, the one that came out?
I unfortunately did. Yes, I watched it on. I think it's on HBO Max.
Is it
But
good?
you know,
What is it?
it's terrible.
Yeah,
It's awful.
I stayed away from that. It looked
It
bad.
ruined it. It ruined the actual first Independence Day for me a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. It's just the aliens come back.
Yeah, I mean, and then they don't bring back Will Smith.
No, only person that's there is
Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum.
It sounded like it was a cash grab.
It was a definite cash grab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The epitome of a cash grab was that movie.
And they tried to make it like more of a serious action movie than the first one was.
You don't want to go too serious.
It's like one of those movies that read its own headlines kind of thing for the sequel. It's like, well, the first one we did this, so we're gonna have to do this now. Kind of like the Fast movies.
Yes, they're buying into their own.
We did this for the first ones, so we got to go up bigger than the second one. So
yeah,
now we're all using the technology from the aliens and it's all that stuff. And
crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. I got news.
All right.
I don't have a lot of it, but I have some news.
Okay.
Here we go. One of the biggest things that happened over the weekend.
Yes.
Was Richard Donner, director of Superman, Lethal Weapon, and The Goonies, has passed away at the age of 91.
Yes, very sad.
Yeah, very sad. I mean, come on. Some of these movies were like
Goonies. It's like the epitome.
Yeah.
For our age group, Goonies was it.
I think he also was part of the production company with that did the X-Men movies in the 2000s.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Yes, Donner did much more than direct. He started a production company with his wife that would produce X-Men movies like 2000's X-Men and the prequel Wolverine. And and did you know, a little side thing, Kevin Feige was once his intern.
Yes, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
So Donner, I mean, the guy did a lot for the movie industry. I mean, taking on Superman. And then, of course, like, the Lethal Weapon, I love the Lethal
franchise. Yeah, they went through 4 of them.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be making a 5th one. I'm like, God, no.
Oh, no, why?
I have not forgiven Mel Gibson. I don't give a shit about Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
I can't even believe Mel Gibson's making movies again, but he is, and I just don't want to see a movie with him in it. But Lethal Weapon 1, 2, 3 were all great. 4, I don't remember much about it, but I saw
Chris Rock in it.
Was 4 Chris Rock?
Yeah.
It was all right, I think.
Yeah. Was 4 the one with Jet Li or something like that?
Jet Li could have been the bad guy.
Yeah.
Chris Rock could have been in it. I have
Chris Rock was in one of them as Danny Glover's son-in-law.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Lethal Weapon.
Or was one that was like, okay,
it was just okay. It was just like end this.
Bring the towel out. It's dry now. There's no more water left in this.
Right.
Yeah.
Richard Donner. So Richard Donner, I mean, he's a legend. A legend.
Yeah.
And then another
Donner Party and
Donner Party. Jesus Christ, Mark. And then over the last couple months, since January, there's been rumors. I don't buy into rumors. Like, I just don't believe it until I see it. That the Nintendo Switch Pro system would be coming out. It would be 4K,
yes, I saw this. The OLED.
But people were like, it's going to be 4K. It's going to have a beefier CPU. It's going to be this and that. We saw the specs and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
Nintendo.
I'm like, no. So today they released a trailer and it did not. It's only going to have a new OLED screen. It's going to be it's going to be 7 inches. It's slightly bigger than the original.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. It's gonna have a bigger kickstand in the back,
Oh,
which is
bigger
kind of cool.
kickstand. Oh
Yeah,
man,
and guess what? That's
what?
it.
It still
That's
plays
it.
the same crappy games it played before.
It plays awesome games. But
Yeah, Nintendo. Let's not get crazy.
no, I mean the Nintendo Switch is the one of the best selling systems. It's always sold out.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
games are fantastic. Um,
Nintendo still
so
terrible.
everybody had these rumors and these like fanfic blogs of what they thought
Yeah.
it was going to happen, and that's all it was. So not worthy of an upgrade for me because I play mostly on TV. I don't really care. Um,
I don't know. I've tried
but
playing the Switch. I'm not a fan.
Switch is awesome. I love because I can sit outside and play. I can play Zelda and Mario, and
Yeah.
I love it. It's whatever.
You got to be into that. I think you have to be into Nintendo. That's like one of those. Like I think at this point, like Nintendo's turned into what Sega used to be. Like you have to be a fan of the Sega
No,
series games.
you're way off base. If you're a gamer and you like it, and you like video games in general, Sega, it's leaps and bounds above Sega ever was. Leaps and bounds. I mean, Nintendo Switch sells out. It is like the number one selling system. And then when we
To
had
me, it
quarantine,
looks like you're like a little Tykes starter video game system.
no, no.
It's just my opinion. I'm allowed to have my opinion.
You can have your opinion, but you're so off base. You don't have to like it. I'm just telling you, it
Yeah.
is like the number one selling system. So it
I'm
is
not saying it
nothing like
isn't.
that.
I'm just saying to me, when I played it, the tiny controller makes me feel like a giant, and I'm not a fan of the tiny controller. It
Well, yeah,
just feels weird to have a little tiny controller.
the Joy Cons, when you take them off, you can
Yeah,
slide them into a bigger thing, and it feels like a
yeah,
normal controller.
yeah.
But if you are
If you're playing
playing,
like I tried over when we were in vacation, we did Mario Kart. And I played with my niece, and
yeah,
she's 11, so
yeah,
she's able
oh
to
yeah.
play the controller fine. I have man hands, and it's like I feel like
Oh,
I'm like trying to like play this little tiny system like this, and it's like
if when you're holding the
this is
Joy-Con
stupid.
sideways, it is very small.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that. Sometimes if you have both Joy-Cons in your hand, you can actually play whatever, and you don't have to be like this the whole time,
yeah, it's
which is
just I'm
kind of
not a
nice.
fan.
But you don't have to be a fan. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I
I'm just saying
said,
that's the big model, which
yeah.
is going to disappoint a lot of folks that had their like,
But
9,000.
Nintendo's never been like the system to like blow you away with all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, but I don't think gaming has to be that way. You
No, what I'm
either
saying as opposed to like the PlayStations and the Xboxes,
yes,
where everything's like a huge
yeah.
console and the big bells and whistles and the super
You
duper
I
RAM
agree. If you
things
want
and
high tech,
all the
the
stuff John
best of the
Francina loves and talked about.
if you want the best of the best, you
Yeah,
go somewhere else. But if you just want a fun experience at a lower price point, that's
yeah.
just
Which is
fantastic
why I think it
games.
sells out so much because it has a lower price point. People are more
Yeah.
apt to buy that for their kids than drop $500, $600 on
Not
a box.
just their kids though. I mean,
No, but I'm
our
saying, but
adults,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, it's just that's like it's easier to justify purchasing that instead of
Yeah.
dropping $600 for a PlayStation or an Xbox.
And I mean, the fact that you can play things on the go and I can play outside. I
Yeah,
mean,
and you
I
can
love
travel
it.
with it and play it as you're in the car and everything. And
Yeah. I sit outside, I'll play Zelda and stuff, just hanging outside, which is I love it.
are there a lot of are there going just asking now, are there any like cross games like you could play like games that are on the Xbox or PlayStation that you can now play on the Switch?
Fortnite's on there. Fortnite's on everything.
Yeah, no, it's not really a
Doom,
game.
Doom, The Witcher 3 is on there.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed games are on there. I mean, they ported a lot of games
yeah.
over. They're not top of the line specs though, so it's kind of like when you're playing on the handheld, a little downgrade a little bit.
Yeah.
But when I want to play something big, I play it on the console. Nintendo Switch for me is mostly Nintendo games, so like
Yeah,
Zelda or Mario
exactly.
or
So that's my thing. That's
yeah,
the thing I
they
think.
make their games look beautiful. I
Yeah.
mean, their games
I know
look
the Zelda
gorgeous.
game is really big. My brother has it, and he loves that game. So
Yeah. Um. So when you
that is the one thing I did do over the weekend, Brian. I forgot to mention. I
what?
did crank up the old Xbox over the weekend.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I downloaded a NHL 21 because now it's free on Game Pass,
Yeah.
and Dirt 5.
I played
Uh,
Dirt 5.
I tried playing Dirt 5. Not as good as Dirt 4.
I've never played any of them.
Yeah.
To me, it was fun.
I would say if you liked Dirt 5, go back and download Dirt 4. The the career mode is much more uh fluid than this one.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the weird jumping around thing.
Yeah, it was like you can go here or
Yeah,
here.
I don't
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, the Dirt 4 was more straightforward. Like you did whatever and you went in line.
Yeah.
So I could delve more into it. The graphics, of course, are great, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And NHL 21, I'm liking the career mode now. You actually have like choices that you can make. Like there, you actually go to like press conferences. You talk with your coach. You talk with your coach on the ice, like during the game. You can make a choice of
Wow.
what you want to do. So it makes the game the be a pro mode more intuitive than just play the game, move on, play another game, move on.
Right. 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 Right.
So I'm actually liking
That's
NHL
cool.
21. So I'm back playing NHL 21 again.
Wow. Well, we are revving up for hockey season soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Couple months, right?
Stanley Cup is going on as we speak.
Oh yeah, it hasn't
Yeah,
even ended. I forgot.
it hasn't. It hasn't.
Which is weird because usually it's done by the end of June.
They usually go into July sometimes. It depends upon the year and the
Playoffs,
schedule.
right?
Yeah,
But I always remember growing up by the end of June
by the end
or
of June, it's
between
usually done, but it's a
it's
little bit
done.
pushed back a little bit because of
COVID and
the
everything.
COVID.
Yeah.
But yes,
Uh,
the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Montreal Canadiens, two Eastern Conference teams playing for the Stanley Cup.
you would
Because
never think you would see those two
weirdness of
teams.
weirdness.
The
The
Islanders made
Canadians
it.
are in the Canadian Conference, which they put into the Canadian Division, which they put into the Western Conference. So
The fact that the Islanders made it to the playoffs was pretty cool.
Islanders are going pretty far. Went pretty far this year. Yeah,
They went very far, and I'm like, wow. You never hear anything about the Islanders doing it that.
yeah. Well, they've been coming around lately. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rangers are probably about 2 or 3 years away from being there.
Yeah, yeah. And then, my Sharks will always have a great season, but then just
Yeah,
flop
and
during the
unfortunately,
playoffs.
there was a prospect for the Columbus Blue Jackets who passed away over the weekend.
Oh, really?
I think, if I remember correctly, it had something to do with fireworks.
What?
Yeah,
Did he blew himself up with fireworks?
I could be wrong. Let me just double check here.
All right. Well, after you get that, that's the end of news. And
Yes,
we're gonna
fireworks
go.
accident.
Oh God, that sucks. What happened?
His name is, and that website sucks. Mattis Kivalenkin, 24 years old,
Oh my God, that's
uh,
young.
died from chest trauma from an errant fireworks mortar blast
Oh,
and not a fall, as authorities previously reported.
that sucks.
So the mortar style firework tilted slightly and started to fire toward people nearby on Sunday in Michigan, where he was staying or living. The 24-year-old was in a hot tub and tried to get clear with several other people. Uh,
He was in a hot tub.
yeah,
So what? Did it fly at him? Like what the hell?
yes. Uh, the initial autopsy determined he died from a percussive injury caused by a powerful blast from the fireworks, which triggered major damage to his heart and lungs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There was a minor injury to his exterior, which would lead us to believe this is a quote from the medical examiner, or no, lieutenant from the police department, which would lead us to believe that some portion of the firework made contact with him. But we're not really sure if it was a direct hit or whether the percussion from the explosion caused his injuries.
Jesus, what a way to go. So he had nothing to do with these fireworks. He's in a hot tub chilling.
He was in a hot tub. His buddies were, or whoever was shooting off fireworks.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that person has to feel like now who fired those fireworks?
Yeah. I mean,
They
I like you've been to my neighborhood on the holiday.
Yeah, Mark had a firework fly at him one year.
Yeah.
We're all sitting down, and it was a tiny one, and the thing went right up the driveway, right into you, and you're like whacking at it. It was real.
It
was
blew
really
up underneath my chair.
Yeah, it was a small one.
It was a smaller one. It wasn't one of the big ones like this, but still.
Yeah.
Another reason why I'm not a huge fan of fireworks.
That's crazy. That sucks. Wow.
24 years old. He was a prospect. He'd played a little bit in the NHL. He debuted, I think, this past season for the Blue Jackets against the Rangers. I think my brother said he was at the game that he debuted at. Yeah.
All right, man, that sucks. Let's put a ban on fireworks. That sucks. Yeah. That's crazy.
And Mariah told me she got hit in the leg by one, like a smaller one, over the weekend as well. So
why? What was she doing?
Well, the neighbors were shooting off fireworks,
like they always do.
She was over at their party, and it shot up the driveway and wrapped her in the leg. So,
oh man,
yeah,
gotta be careful.
Yeah, I mean, they had like a couple years ago, there was the NFL player who had a firework blow up in his hand and took off like 3 of his fingers, or 2 or 3 of his fingers.
People are dumb.
So
you gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful.
Leave those things to the professionals. There's people who do that for a living.
Yeah.
And they're like trained and they know how to set them up so they won't fall over
and hit somebody.
Because basically you're shooting off rockets, like actual ammunition. And they sell them in stores in New Hampshire. You can just go buy them.
Yes. Well, people like to blow things up, Mark.
It's probably the only country that celebrates their freedom by blowing things up for fun.
Fireworks that were made in China.
For fun.
Other countries,
they like run away from explosions. Here in America, we run towards them.
Other countries have fireworks too, Mark. You know.
What I'm saying, but like they don't like have them in like their neighborhoods and like whole hums shooting off fireworks randomly.
We don't know that.
Only in America do we just go and buy explosions and shoot them up in the air just for the fun. Let's scare every person in their neighborhood's dogs.
Let's talk about. This is a good. Let's a good segue into a movie that was like an explosion.
Yes.
I don't know if it was a good one.
I gotta say,
the Tomorrow War.
Out of all the random movies that I've seen that have come out during this whole pandemic situation, and have been movies that would have been in theaters. This would have been in theaters. It would have been just.
Oh yeah, it would have been
Amazon Prime where it ended up. It would have been a regular movie release. I gotta say, I don't think it was terrible. I liked it better than like Tenet.
No, for me, I like Tenet way more.
Tenet was too. I don't know. I think
anyway,
let's read his own headlines.
Let's start from the beginning. The Tomorrow War was on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Mark watched it. I watched it.
Yeah.
Let's go. So you already kind of started. I'll let you finish your initial reaction to the movie, your overall thoughts.
Man, I'll give you mine. And it wasn't like I was like, oh man, I can't wait for this movie to come out. I'm gonna watch it. It was I got some time to kill on Friday. I took Friday off. And I knew it was coming out because I'd seen the ads on TV and everything. So I'm like, oh, let's give this Tomorrow War a shot. And I gotta say, from the last movie, I kind of was like, yeah, let me give this movie a shot. I liked it way better than I liked Army of the Dead. So right there, it's a banner movie for me. It was good. It's a popcorn movie. You gotta, like you said, turn your brain off, not overthink what's going on, and just enjoy the ride. J.K. Simmons was excellent. Really swole, as the kids would say. I mean, the acting was okay. It wasn't great. The girl who plays his daughter in the future, was the girl from Chuck, which I got like a little, ooh, I remember her from Chuck. So there's that little thing. So that made it a little bit better because I'm like, oh, she was such a good actress. I'm glad she's getting jobs again. But it was good. I liked that the story was interesting.
Well,
The aliens were pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like this the way they did it, and the girl that that girl that goes in the wave with them, the comedian who dies in like pretty much everything she's in. She was good. I liked like her.
I forgot she was in it.
Yeah, but I like her as an actor. I think she's funny. She has like that. I don't know. Just the way her acting is very funny to me. But anyways, yeah. So it was a good popcorn movie.
Okay, so
I would have rather seen it in the theater. I think it would have been better if I was in a theater.
I'll give you my reaction. Before I do, a rating 1 out of 10. What do you give it?
I'll give it a 7.
Okay. All right.
It was passing. It wasn't like.
So this is just our quick review of this movie because we have Loki to talk about. So
yeah.
All right. I agree with probably 90% of what you said. For me personally, it was just fine.
Yeah.
I wasn't blown away by anything. I wasn't. I didn't hate it. I didn't was like, oh my god, this is amazing. The things I did like about it, I did like the aliens. I thought they were cool looking.
Yeah.
I did like that first piece of the aliens they were fighting in the very beginning in the hallway there.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool action piece. Yeah. Part of me was just like, they're taking this a little bit too seriously, and the beginning part was just kind of like a drags for me. I'm like, come on, I want to get back to more action.
Well, the thing is like the thing that makes sense makes the first part make sense is when she tells him how he dies later.
I know. He's
like he has to realize what he's got and not like
when the daughter was like, I'm gonna come up with a vaccine, and I'm like,
a lot of MacGuffins.
No, like they was setting it up. I'm like, okay, the daughter is gonna be a major player at the end of this movie, and she was in the future.
Yeah.
But for me, I was just like, oh, this is too serious. I don't care that much. I just want to see more aliens and fighting.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm here for. So for me personally, I thought the middle part could have been cut down because it just felt like it dragged. I just wanted to get it to that third act. I thought Charlie, can't think of his last name.
Black that guy. He's the guy from Veep.
Veep. He's awesome. He was my favorite character out of this whole movie. Yeah. I'm so glad he had some great moments. I'm so glad he made it to the end. Spoilers. Now, J.K. Simmons, now we know why there was a photo of him exercising because he looked fucking beefy, jacked. And then he was in Batman with a trench coat on, and people were like, why would he be
so jacked?
For Batman. No, this is the movie.
For this,
he had a tank top on, and he looked jacked. He looked just like that photograph that went around that went viral. So he looked awesome. J.K. Simmons was great. I knew he was going to come back at the end. I mean, it was very predictable this whole film. But I like the aliens.
Yeah.
This was a movie that
I
would not have watched at all if it wasn't for it being on Amazon Prime.
Exactly. I did say as I was watching, I'm like, if this movie didn't have Chris Pratt as the main person for it, it'd be so much worse.
Yeah, he was just okay.
Like he saved that. Like he made the movie a little bit better.
You know what this was though? This is like the Will Smith. This is like Independence Day. Like
very much.
It has to be a charismatic lead actor.
Yeah.
And Chris Pratt is that guy right now.
Yeah.
But if this movie had come out in the 90s, that would have been Will Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be that right person, This could have even been a Tom Cruise movie 10 years ago,
It was. There was a Tom Cruise movie with Emily Blunt, which is basically the same kind of thought process.
Oh, was there?
Edge of Tomorrow.
I never saw it.
The one where they leap back in time. He leaps back and forth because he dies, and then he comes back every time.
I'm not
until
going
he's
to
able to. Yeah.
Yeah. I so the interesting part about this movie, and yes, it is a turn off your brain movie because if you think about it, you will ruin it.
Yeah, like why would
And
they if they can send people back in time? Why wouldn't they use their technology to jump back in time and just kill the aliens before they take over?
why did it take killing half the population and then recruiting 40-year-old men who had no experience in the
Yeah.
military to
And
come?
who would if that happened in real life? I thought about that too after the fact. I'm like, if people appeared from the future and said, "Hey, in 30 years, this is gonna happen, and we need you to send people into the future to fight our war for us."
Right.
How many countries just be like, "Yeah,
Yeah, I know. How come America was just like, let's get on it,
let's get
boys?
on this. Let's send all our people to die."
And then my favorite that weird part is when they get warped up,
Yeah.
they throw them in the middle of the sky. They just
Well, they
fall.
weren't supposed to go there.
I know, but
There was an issue with the transport.
still, why are
They're
they
supposed to
falling?
transport 5 to 10 feet off the ground in a different location. They had an issue, and that's why they landed where they did. But it made more sense to do it that way, because if you'd just done it like a normal ho-hum landing, it would have been as interesting.
Yeah.
But watching the people like randomly just fall to their deaths, basically, it was like,
yeah. No wonder we're dumb, because yes, I was just like, okay, so why did it take Chris Pratt, who's a science teacher? You're telling me all the people they have working on this, there's not one smart person that says like, why don't we send something back, like a virus or something, to kill these things, to figure out where they are? How come it took a science teacher and a student that was into volcanoes to figure this out?
Yeah.
In the future, they were wiping out half the population.
They didn't have time. The aliens were killing them all, so they didn't have time. They killed all the smart people first. Aliens aren't stupid.
It was so silly that way when you think about it. It's a very silly concept, which is fine for what it was. I don't fault it.
It was an action movie. It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. Oh, I agree, Mark. I agree. But we're
meant to be an expo piece into a.
We're thinking about it now.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. It's ridiculous. So like
all those movies, like you could go back and do the same thing with Star Wars. You could do the same thing with everything.
I know.
Yeah. Like Star Trek, where they went to they had to find 2 whales to save the planet from an alien spaceship.
It's all about how you do it and how it is done. Sometimes
I think also we're more cynical now than we used to be.
Yeah. But a movie
in general are more cynical.
A movie can do it in a way that it doesn't make sense when you think about it, but you had a great time watching it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ate a bag of popcorn. I was happy. Took out my tub that I purchased when I went to the movies last time for 2020, thinking I was going to be using this for the whole year. I used it that one time at Rise of Skywalker and never got used again. I took out my air popper that Claire bought me for my birthday a couple years ago, or maybe Christmas. I can't remember which one. Made my popcorn, came upstairs, sat down, had a bucket of popcorn, put the movie on. That just turned my brain off for 2.5 hours.
There you go. So
I was happy.
Your final verdict was 7. I give it a 5. It was a 5 from me.
Yeah, well, you're more cynical than I am. Yeah.
I'm not cynical, really.
You're kind of cynical when it comes to movies. It's fine.
Not really.
Okay.
I can have a different opinion about movie, Mark. I'm not saying it was bad. It didn't blow my nuts off, but it was a whole hum movie.
I hope not. That'd be a bad situation.
James Cameron said that we're all going to shit our pants when we see the next.
Yeah, because we'll be amazed when it actually appears on a movie screen.
I have a fart movie.
Avatar, yeah.
Avatar.
Well, we're shitting our pants because we'd be astonished that they actually finished it and put it in the movie theater. It's only taken how long?
I know. But anyway,
Martin would have had would have had 2 books done by the time it takes James Cameron to release another Avatar movie.
No, James Cameron, unlike George R.R. Martin, actually is working on it. George R.R. Martin, he's doing everything but write that book.
How hard is it to just finish a book?
It's probably
He's written how many books?
Yeah, but you gotta wrap it up with all those characters.
But then he's like doing all these other things. It's like, why are you working on these other projects? Go do the one project everyone wants you to finish.
It's called he's procrastinating.
I mean, he's also not like a healthy looking gentleman. So I mean, it's like the last thing anyone wants is for him to not finish it. God forbid. And then like Benhoff and whatever the other jerk off's name is comes in and they finish it for him, and then it's a craptastic like the TV show was.
I don't think they're gonna be ever allowed to do anything Game of Thrones ever again.
Luckily, they're not doing Star Wars anymore. So
no, they're not. They're not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
I think
I did hear other news, Brian, that production for the Book of Boba Fett wrapped up over the weekend last week.
Speaking of Star Wars, they put
Star Wars Vision.
Yeah, with this like anime and different.
It's all anime. There's like 8 to 10 different anime studios from Japan, and they're all doing their own stories.
Yeah,
there's no connectivity between the stories.
Yeah,
they're all just like given. They're basically just told, "Here's the world of Star Wars. Make your own stories."
Yeah.
So, I'm very interested to see how that all turns out. I'm not a huge anime guy,
but it looks cool.
But I'm interested to see how this works. I like the visuals of anime. I'm not a big not like Hutzel where I have a anime hideout or anything in my basement or anything. But
it looks cool. I just like one-offs and just like a one episode deal, and you can pick and choose what you want to watch.
Yeah,
kind of cool. So yeah, Book of Boba Fett that wraps up because that's coming out this Christmas.
It's Christmas time, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
now they're gonna we're getting into Mandalorian. It's gonna start shooting soon.
Well, Pascal, actually, they just started filming The Last of Us.
Yeah.
This past week, they actually put a photo out from an early scene of the game.
Yeah.
That they're filming. So they just started filming that. So
yeah.
Who knows if Mandalorian when that?
I think with Mandalorian, he doesn't have to be there all the time.
But he is.
But I'm saying I think the only times he needs to actually physically be there for them to shoot the show is anytime his helmet comes off.
Right.
So they could shoot the whole season of Mandalorian without him being there on set.
Technically, I guess they could.
And then he could come in after and VO like he's done the past 2 seasons, VO his lines.
Yeah.
So they could start shooting Mandalorian without him being physically there.
They could. I don't know.
I think that's the plan. I don't think that because with Last of Us, he has to be there because you see his face.
Yeah.
Mandalorian, he's wearing a helmet the whole time. So.
I mean, that's a that's definitely a plus for Mandalorian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we don't know when season 3. I mean, who knows? The Book of Boba Fett
is supposed to be out. The story, the news I've heard from that is that it's supposed to be out early next year sometime, like before spring. So, who knows?
Mandalorian season 3 is confirmed to film later this year.
Yeah. I mean, they might wait till after Last of Us is done filming.
Mando's third outing isn't due until 2022.
Yeah.
So it's not coming out till next year. So
exactly.
I feel like
that's next year. It's not like that far away. So.
Yeah. So I feel like the Book of Boba Fett is sort of like that.
Book of Boba Fett comes out December.
Yeah.
I think the plan is for Mando to come out relatively soon after that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is fine.
Yeah, you also got the Andor shows coming too. So.
Yeah.
And the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Right.
So there's plenty of time for them to get Mandalorian done because they're gonna have those shows. They're not gonna run them concurrently.
No.
So there's gonna be a gap.
Yeah. Well, Mark, let's talk about Loki episode 4. Speaking of
Loki, if this year's the year of Marvel on Disney Plus, next year is probably gonna be the year of Star Wars.
Yeah.
With all those shows coming. So.
All those shows coming out, yeah.
Yeah.
And Loki is like one of the highest critically acclaimed Marvel shows. And like out of the movies too, it is getting like rave reviews.
Yeah.
It is probably
so much so that there's even now talk of this being not the only season of Loki.
Yeah, I guess we gotta wait and see.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything from Kevin Feige
No, nothing confirmed, but it's been
confirmed.
talked that it could be a possibility. This could be the show that they need to bring back because there's so much story left that they could go into. So, who knows?
Until Feige says it, I don't
Yeah,
believe
no,
it.
exactly.
But that would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
So I get this episode was really good.
It was
all the
amazing.
episodes were good. This episode, like, so we can confirm that that picture. Everybody thought that was him, and Black Widow was actually him
and Sylvie sitting on the rock.
Yeah. I knew they talked, and now she had a Loki life just like him. So she was in a different multiverse.
Yeah.
Of a Loki timeline. And like this, a lot happened. A lot of
this is like the trigger episode. This is the episode that triggers the finale. This is the episode where the TVA unravels. It's like you have the guard who starts asking questions.
Yes, she is like,
and
she's kind of out of her like her trance almost. She's like, I saw something. It brought back memories. What is going on here? I need to know.
Yeah.
And then Owen Wilson, Morbius. Mobius. He is kind of coming to terms with the fact that, oh my God, maybe Loki's right.
Well, because they kind of like the leader girl, whose name I can never remember, tells him that the guard that, or the guard person that Sylvie kidnapped.
Yeah.
She said she died.
Yes.
And Mobius is like, well, that's weird. She seemed perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of started his like coming to terms with what's going on there. I think he was like, this doesn't seem right. People don't die. We don't lose people like that. They don't just like, we never see them die. Like, people don't just die here.
It's because she remembered.
Yeah. It's because she remembered who she was. So they pruned her.
Yeah.
So then it was like a gradual, like slow, like realization to everybody trying to like come to terms with it. They put Loki in a time loop with Lady Sif, which was awesome to see her come back. And then Mobius like finally comes to terms with, I had a jet ski. Whoa.
It goes back to episode 1 where he was obsessed with just looking at old jet skis and magazines.
Yeah, from the 80s. Yeah.
From the 80s. And he's just kind of like, it's my thing. Come to find out, that was his thing on Earth.
Yeah, come to find out, everyone's thing on the TVA planet, wherever that is, or whatever it is, their thing is the thing that they remember the most from their real lives.
Yeah.
And that every person in there is a variant. Some of them have kind of come to terms with it, I guess. So we get they get to see the timekeepers for the first time. Who we think are the timekeepers?
Well, they are robots.
Yes.
They don't exist. Which we talked about a couple weeks ago, saying that like we think this is a ruse.
Yeah.
I didn't
behind the curtain kind of thing.
It was like Wizard of Oz. I didn't think they would go as far as there's actual robots portraying them. So they're really fooling people. Now, who is the wizard?
I think it's gonna be Kang.
Everyone's saying Krang or Kang.
Kang the Conqueror. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we're gonna go there.
I think that there's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be any kind of small reveal. I think it's gonna be a big reveal. I'd be surprised the way this show's going. I'd be surprised if it's just a ho hum reveal.
Yes, but anybody but Kang could still be a big reveal. Because it's
I'm just saying, but I think it's going to be some kind of big reveal. Then we have the huge fight scene in the throne room, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, before that, Mobius gets pruned, which is heart wrenching.
I know. It was like, no.
Because at the time, you think they're dead.
Yeah.
You think they don't go anywhere. You think they just die, like they're obliterated from the timeline. or reset at least to wherever they were originally.
Somewhere.
Yeah. So you don't know what actually happens there. So that was
big.
Yeah. A big like jaw drop moment. Like, oh
I know.
no.
I was like,
no. We'll never got a whoa.
Whoa. Wow. It's wow.
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 That's right. We never got a wow. So
he hasn't done a wow yet. So it's pretty amazing. But he could still do one.
Still got time. Still 2 episodes.
Yeah. I mean, I had a moment where I was like, no way.
And then they got the fight, and then Loki gets pruned.
And then I was like, what?
What is going on? I was like, there's got to be something going on here. There's no way they're just going to that was too light of an ending for Loki. There's no way that's like, I'm like, are they now saying that she's new Loki?
I thought that.
Like, I had like the whole realization thing for like a second. I had like rationalize it, like, oh, they're just going to make her Loki now, and she's going to go on into the movies as Loki.
Right.
Okay, right. I guess I can deal with that. It's not going to be as cool, but we'll be fine.
Nope. Yeah, I thought the same thing.
So I'm like trying to like rationalize, like, oh well, it makes sense. Get rid of him now, and then like she'll be the thing, and then she'll figure out some way to bring all the people who were pruned back, and then there'll be a whole thing, and
yeah.
So you get to the credits, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, well, I don't usually watch the whole credits, but there's a little tinkling in me, like this is like an episode that would have an after credits scene. I don't know why, but I'm thinking there might be something. And I'm still trying to rationalize too at the same time, like, wow, they killed Loki in this, like 2 episodes left in his show when he's gone.
Well, how many times has Loki died?
That makes no sense. On. Yeah, and he said it earlier in the episode, like, she's like, oh, we're gonna kill you. He's like, I've died many times. Good luck.
He always comes back.
Yeah. Good luck trying to make it stick, kind of thing. So then we get the scene where he like is alive somewhere.
He wakes up on a planet. Yeah.
Some place. And he's like, am I dead? And he goes, no, but you will be if you don't follow us. And they move over, and there's like multiple Lokis.
Yeah, from different time periods.
Yes.
I want to go over that.
Comic book Loki.
You know who that was?
I don't know the actor's name, but I've seen him before.
That was Richard E. Grant playing the classic Loki.
Yes.
Now, I'm gonna blow your mind. Richard E. Grant actually got to play the Doctor in Doctor Who.
I remember this.
In a comedy sketch, Doctor Who and the Curse of the Fatal Death. He also portrayed a version of the 10th Doctor in a like as a voice for BBC animated webcast. And he was intended to be the official 9th Doctor prior to the reveal of the TV series.
Oh.
He was so he's done the voice, he's played the Doctor in a comedy sketch, and he was actually going to be considered as the 9th Doctor. And he made his first official Doctor Who appearance in the 2012 Christmas special titled The Snowman, when he played the villain. Walter Simeon.
Yes.
So Richard E. Grant has actually had a big history with Doctor Who, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
But we got an alligator Loki, which is kind of like a nod to the comics. Then we got a Kid Loki, which Kid Loki made his first appearance in Thor 6/17 in 2010. Yes. Boastful Loki. I guess they don't really know. Nobody really knows anything about Boastful Loki right now. Yeah. So it's kind of cool that we got these Lokis, and for what looked like to be the Avengers Tower.
Yeah, that's I wasn't sure.
In the background,
go back and look again, but
it looked like a post-apocalyptic planet with a tower that could have been the Avengers Tower breaking in the background.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to become the leader of these Lokis.
Leader Loki,
the leader Loki. And they're going to kick ass together. I'm very excited to see these Lokis. I love how the show is constantly keeping on your toes. You don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
This was a big reveal. And I think these Lokis are going to go and jump through time time together. I don't know. They're going to do something that's going to change the TVA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
Back on or wherever the TVA. She's back in the TVA with the judge there. So I'm assuming we're gonna get something there where she's gonna tell her the true story of the TVA or something.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Big reveal.
Yeah.
And then I think Luke Wilson's character, I think he is going to be put. He possibly could be there too, or he could be put somewhere else.
Yeah.
So he's alive. I think everybody who was pruned will be alive somewhere.
Well, because I was thinking like the thing online. The big thing online is if there's a planet full of Lokis, is there a planet full of Mobiuses? So is there a planet full of Owen Wilsonses?
Just going, wow.
All your different your different iterations of Owen Wilson, the Tannenbaums and all the different.
Wow.
Nice to
Oh
meet
my
you.
God. If you just saw all those Lokis from his old movies, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice to meet you.
And they just say wow, and they all like, wow.
They look really similar. Wow. They look really similar.
Oh my God.
Wow, you're a cowboy Mobius. Wow. That's cool.
Jet skis. Wow.
You like jet skis too, huh? Wow.
Someone did a Photoshop of him on a jet ski.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. I love how people are like giving him his. I mean, I don't want
the jet ski.
I don't want to see his character totally gone, so I'm hoping.
No, there's got to be something. He's got to reappear somehow.
Yeah, I think so too.
The chemistry between those two is so good.
Yeah. So we got 2 episodes
awesome
left.
buddy. Yes.
We got this Wednesday and then
this Wednesday and next Wednesday, which you might not be around for.
I might be. I'll be on vacation, and we'll see.
Yeah.
A bibbity bobbity boo, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yet again, I give this a 10. This show has been straight 10s from me. I just cannot, like, even this episode, the first half, I was like, oh, it's good so far. Oh my God. Oh my God.
What is happening?
And, like, to me, this is by far my favorite MCU show. I actually, part of me wants to watch them all from the beginning before the final one.
One big thing.
Yeah.
I will say I give this one, I'll give it a 9.5. I still don't want to get the 10 yet until something like a major, either the finale or like right before the finale, which will be one of the next episodes. So we'll see what happens. I'm really enjoying this series of Doctor Who. I think it's really great. There's been a lot of people saying, why don't we just make Tom Hiddleston Doctor Who at this point? He'd be perfect. He's the right guy for the job.
I don't believe that at all.
Especially like taking Loki and making him into a time traveler like this.
Yes, but he's not.
Very, like last episode, everyone was like, wow, that's like the best Doctor Who episode I've ever seen.
But was it though?
Not episode 4, but the one where they were on the planet and it was all like they have to solve the solution to get off and solve what's going wrong at the planet kind of thing.
This is what I think. It has the feel of Doctor Who because it has the appearance, the feel, the look.
Yeah.
I don't.
And he's British, so that helps.
Yeah, but the way I think about it is it's reminiscent of Doctor Who because of time travel. But beyond that, for me, there's nothing else there.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I think people are like just hopes and dreams that they would pick somebody in the vein of a Tom Hiddleston to be Doctor Who.
Of course, he would be a fantastic Doctor Who. I don't want to see him as Doctor Who because I like when they find someone new and exciting.
Yeah.
Also, maybe it's because the new Doctor Who isn't that good, and people are reminiscing about.
It's not that great. It's just not as good as previous Doctor Who's. That's all.
That's all I can base it off of.
Yeah.
And my opinion, the new Doctor Who is just okay.
Yeah.
It's so. It's the Tomorrow War for me. It's just a 5. Like nothing about the new Doctor Who.
It's not like anything against Jodie Whittaker as Doctor Who. It's nothing against her.
It's the writing. It's the writing.
The stories aren't as great as the other ones used to be.
It's not as compelling.
You don't feel recently, I would
It's
say,
just kind of okay.
starting with the like middle part of the Matt Smith Doctor Who, pretty much most of Capaldi's Doctor Who, you don't feel the, I don't want to say like the dread of something happening to the Doctor. Like I don't know if it was David Tennant was very good at like, you always felt like this could be the last, that like this could be the thing that takes down Doctor Who. I don't know if it was the writing that did that or if it was his acting, but it seemed like Doctor Who switched like with David Tennant had like a little bit of the comic stuff going on inside it, but it wasn't over the top kind of comedy. It wasn't blatant comedy. It was just kind of like with Loki, same kind of like the comedy's there and like it's just like, huh, yeah, like that kind of comedy. You know, it's not like the. Whereas I think with Matt Smith's Doctor Who, Capaldi's kind of had a little bit more, and now Jodie Whittaker's is just like over the top, like they're like trying to make it funny.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it has anything to do with the. For me, I mean that's a good point, but for me, I don't think it's that. I think it's just the writing overall.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the writing is just not like as up to
when Moffat left. When Moffat left, it
well,
was
he had even towards the end had gotten kind of like Capaldi's like last couples, like his last series.
His last season was so good with Billy. I thought his last season was fantastic with Billy. I mean, it wasn't always the best, but it hasn't hit it.
Yeah.
Like those seasons did hit
it.
Also, I think the love story with the whole thing with Amy and the ponds.
Yeah.
That was just the pinnacle for me of Doctor Who.
And then Clara, I think, was great with Capaldi. You had that like that kind of like relationship where he was kind of like,
she was great with Matt Smith. With Capaldi, I felt it was weird, but when they brought in Billy, for me personally, I liked the Billy stuff. I thought they hit it well. Because it was a new companion.
Yeah, I think this one has too many companions.
Oh yeah, there's like 3, and
you have the older guy, and then his grandson, and then the other girl. I think it's too much going on.
Yeah, I mean, I just think overall, it's writing.
Whittaker had different companions, it might work better.
And better writers.
Yeah.
Ultimately, anyway. It's the writers, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. But
I mean,
Loki,
I don't,
episode 5 this Wednesday. Big news, Brian, just came out. I know you're a fan of the Big E news. The Big E just announced 2 more acts. I'll tell you one of the acts first before I tell you the big act that's coming.
It's Machine Gun Kelly is coming.
No. Well, Brad Paisley canceled, so they had to fill his spot.
Yeah.
But Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo are coming September 26th.
Oh, Pat Benatar.
Yes. Here's the one I know you're going to be excited for. I'm glad you're sitting down. On September 18th, coming to the Big E Arena.
Yeah.
Tickets will be on sale Friday at 10 a.m.
Yes, who is?
Tickets are available for $39 or $49. It's going to be a nice day for a white wedding.
Oh,
Billy Idol is coming to the Big E.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to say, me and Allison discussed the Big E this year.
Will you be dancing with yourself?
We both agree we're not going this year.
It's going to be a Rebel Yell, though.
I just don't feel everybody and their mother is going to go this year. Yeah. And I just don't feel comfortable just yet.
You'll have eyes without a face. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So I'm skipping the Big E this year. Because it's going to be a clusterfuck. And nobody's going to be wearing masks.
Always a cluster.
Yeah, nobody's going to wear masks. And who knows with this Delta variant, if that's going to spread. And I can wait till next year. I can wait. Yeah. So,
but I mean, we've talked about it. We might do like one day, like in the middle of the week, like during the day.
We talked about that, but I feel like every day is going to be busy there.
I don't think it's gonna there's always the during the weekdays that no one's there. Everyone's at work.
Mark, they didn't have Big E last year. This year is going to be nuts.
Well, I know the weekends will be insane. That's like not even a thought.
Oh God, don't go on the weekend.
No.
I mean, you might be better off going on a Monday morning.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
a Monday or Tuesday morning when nothing's going on.
Yeah.
Kind of just do your little usual walk around and get out of there kind of thing.
Yeah, we're gonna skip it, but
we'll see.
I know Machine Gun Kelly already sold out.
Yes.
And I mean that's a pretty big get because he's very popular right now.
I guess.
So
I have no idea who he is or what any of the songs he's ever written. So there you go.
Well, there you go. But
I am definitely an old person. I don't understand his music or anything. So there you go.
Pat Benatar, I'm sure will do well, and Billy Idol.
Billy Idol, yeah.
Those are pretty big gets.
Yeah.
For if you're in our age group or older.
Yeah.
If you're in your 20s or your 30s, you probably don't give a shit about those people. All right, Mark. Well, Loki has been fantastic. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. This has been a show. I think
it has been a show. It has been a show. As we were talking about at the beginning of the episode, we're going to give a shout out to John Francois. Happy 40th birthday. He's going to have a big 4-0 for the Francois.
And we're going to be talking about Black Widow the next time we do a show.
Yes. Maybe we'll have it after the movies. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, I'm willing to do that, and we can it would just be audio only.
Pan out. Yeah.
It'd be an audio only.
Stay tuned to the channel for that to see if it pops up. If not, we'll talk about it on Monday. But episode 5 tomorrow.
Oh my God! Tomorrow's Wednesday already?
Yes, tomorrow's Wednesday already.
Oh my God!
Yes, and then tomorrow's Loki. The next day is Black Widow.
Wow, this week's flying by.
Yeah, so and we'll be back here on Monday with all that and so much more. So stay tuned for all that, and we'll see you all next week. Have a safe one, everybody.